We're gonna get destroyed on the internet.
Don't worry.
It's gonna be so
Don't
much
worry.
fun.
It'll be fine.
Iron Man 1 versus New. Stop hitting the table. New. This might be upsetting. We have Up versus Home Alone. Sorry in advance.
Hello, and welcome to the Just a Clothespin official movie bracket. You might notice we're in a little bit of a different situation here. We're not facing each other. We're facing away because we're having some disagreement, some discontentment. And there's no better way to settle it than by doing a giant movie bracket.
Huge thanks to Hotmine for the bracket. Been a fan of your content for a minute now, and it's an honor to honor you, I guess. And we're really excited to have this conversation.
It's kind of like a special episode. We
It is a
usually
special
don't,
episode.
We usually
That's
don't
right.
do stuff like this, but you're going to learn a little bit about Taye and I.
That's right.
We have no idea what we're going to disagree on.
No idea.
Other than maybe something slightly related to the very subtle shirt you're wearing.
What shirt?
Let's get into it. Okay.
There's 64 films. Spencer and I have seen every film, and I guess
I think what's going to be interesting too.
and we've never
is
seen it. We've never seen
It's
it.
not just picking our favorite out of the 64, because like the layout, the
Yeah.
comparisons could force like certain things to never even make it.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's going to be interesting.
I'm excited.
How this works out.
I'm nervous. Okay, so our main man Luka on the mixer here. He's the one who built the bracket,
Yes, huge shout out to him.
and I heard him cackling while making it.
Yeah, he is trying to induce chaos between Taye and I.
Which is
'cause
okay.
He knows
It'll be
both of our
fine.
tastes very well. And if there's ever a tie, like Taye and I can't agree on it,
Shouldn't it's
Luka is going to be the tiebreaker. Okay?
Are we ready?
Yeah,
I'm not
I'm gonna
nervous
be
at
the
all.
evil game master today. That's what I am.
Yeah. Emphasis on the word evil,
Evil.
Very
to
easy.
be clear. Okay.
Okay.
Let's just do it.
Are we ready for the first matchup?
So ready.
I'm so ready.
Okay.
Okay.
In the northwest corner, we have Forrest Gump versus Breakfast Club.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I already know what I'm going to pick, but I don't know if you're going to agree.
I am not gonna agree. That's the issue. All right, let's break it down. Forrest
Okay.
Gump.
So, Forrest Gump. I first of all, I think probably every movie on this list is going to be a great movie.
Probably.
So, look, it's going to have to be
Okay.
Breakfast Club.
Oh, perfect. We're on
Really?
the same page. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, why?
Okay, why? Okay, first of all, not only did it break barriers around what on-screen representation looked like for kids in film, especially high schoolers, but the first time I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's me. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that I got to point to someone and be like, this is a story about me. And it was made in 1980, 86, 84?
I don't
the
know.
Point is it aged very well
Yeah, and for it to
as a
be
narrative.
so contained, like 90% of the film happens in this like detention
85.
learning center.
Yeah.
And its simplicity actually I think works in its favor and makes it work so much better.
Completely.
It's just such a deep, rich character study. Like it's fundamentally about human beings, and I love it.
I love it too. And phenomenal score. I mean, great soundtrack.
Oh, of
just
course,
Across
dude.
the
That
board.
the ending scene.
Bender.
Yeah.
I-
Oh my goodness.
Great cast. It's also one of those movies that you can still watch. 16 Candles
Yeah.
does not age well.
I don't even know what that is. To be
Say Anything's kind of rough. Like the Boombox one. It doesn't matter. We'll watch it later.
Okay.
Anyway, awesome. Breakfast Club. We're on the same
Yeah,
page.
but
Great start.
I'm so sorry, Forrest Gump.
Anyway,
I love Forrest Gump. Tom Hanks.
we're off to a very upsetting start for me already.
Really?
I'm a big Forrest Gump fan. That's fine.
Oh man.
Listen, Tom Hanks, one of his best roles. I actually love.
It's been a minute since I've seen
Yeah.
Forrest Gump, but
It's
great,
really good.
great movie.
It's phenomenal. It's just a sweet story. Too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up.
We're so ready. We're so ready.
Okay, next matchup we have Ratatouille versus Boys in the
my
Hood.
goodness. Okay. This is crazy.
That's actually cruel. Okay.
This is messed up for multiple reasons. So first of all, I've just recently watched Boys in the Hood for the first
It's one of
time.
my favorite movies.
But second of all, you also love Ratatouille,
I
right?
love Ratatouille.
So
it's
like,
my favorite. Pixar
this
movie.
one's designed to mess with you more than it is to mess with me. I feel like.
You're so mean. Oh, okay. Let's break it down. Hold on.
How do you compare these? Oh my goodness. Do you even know your answer? Because I don't. Like I'm genuinely trying to figure this out.
So, I think Ratatouille, I probably have to go with because I saw it earlier in my life, and it was introduced to me earlier.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about narrative, not everyone can watch Boys in the Hood, but everyone who watches Boys in the Hood can see themselves. Like, it's similar to the
But
Breakfast
also, like,
Club.
Ratatouille is fundamentally about belonging, about community, about...
Yes. There's more subtlety to Ratatouille, which
Right.
we can't even compare these, but
But-
we literally are. Okay.
we lose either way.
We do this either way. I think Ratatouille is the answer.
I think I'm okay
I think
with
it
putting
has to be Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Because it's also just sentimental reasons.
Yeah.
We were there when it came.
But
like,
it hurts me to let Boys in the Hood go in round 1, but I think it has to.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm with it.
I also am now realizing, like, we might be hated after this comes out because, yeah, this is going to be crazy. Okay,
yeah.
Ratatouille.
I'm not gonna lie, we're 0-2 for me so far.
Oh.
Not gonna lie.
We're probably 0-2 for the public as well.
I mean,
Okay.
it's
All right.
sentimental, bro. We can't.
No, I think that's a good pick.
Yeah.
Are ready for the next?
But it's
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne. Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So next we have Jaws versus Do the Right Thing.
Okay.
Mr. Boycott Sales.
Okay. Do the right thing for me. Straight up. But
I
let's-
actually do
let's
agree with
Let's
that,
actually
just
break this down.
genuinely.
Let's actually
Yeah.
break this down. So, first of all, Jaws is one of, I guess, probably my favorite Spielberg film.
I think it's one of the most important films for, like, understanding how movies get made.
Yeah.
Because the story behind the story, like, even if you ignore the
Just
movie
how it-
itself,
Yeah.
everything that transpired for that film to get made is like a huge masterclass in filmmaking and perseverance and all these things. So, like, I think it's such an important film to understand as people who want to make movies.
For sure.
But Do the Right Thing is just it's game changing.
Do the Right Thing has the access point of people and of humanity that I think makes it work so well. It's also, it's one of my favorite films. And it happens to take place in my city. It happens to hit all of the right cultural marks for me. But it's
Yeah.
also just, I don't know, man, like, you can watch it today and it still feels just as relevant.
And even more so, it's just as layered. Like,
Yes. So layered.
I've seen the film one time.
I did
and
make him watch it.
I think one of the first things I said after I saw it was like,
I can see it again.
this is a film that I can dissect
Yes.
through like another
Yes.
8 watches
Yeah.
because it's so layered. It's so nuanced, and not that Jaws isn't, but yeah, I think we have to go Do the Right Thing. But all the
Also
love in the
just-
world to Jaws.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to apologize to every film that I don't move on.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
Up next we got Crazy
What?
Rich Asians versus Spy Kids.
This is
I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
this is a great.
First of all, they all know now that we're Generation Z.
Yeah.
We grew up on Spy Kids.
Yeah. What is that one line? Does God live in the sky because he too lives in fear of what he's created? In like a kid's movie.
Did we just go with Spy Kids?
Yeah.
Did you just go with Spy Kids?
You know, it's Spy Kids 2, Return to the Dinosaurs or whatever the heck that. What's It's not Return to the Dinosaurs, but like they go to this island where there's like the hybrid like guy with an axe.
Is he making this up?
Part spider. Have you never seen Spy Kids 2?
No, I have, but
The Island
been
of Lost
years.
Dreams.
Yeah, the Island of Lost Dreams.
Really?
And there's like these weird creature things.
Are you serious right now?
I'm completely serious. And he has like a hologram. This weird scientist guy has like this big map of the island, and it has holograms that show where these like weird creature things are. And that's when he drops the line.
Are you going with Spy Kids, bro? Is that what I'm hearing?
I never said that. Are
All right.
you?
I'm going with Crazy Rich Asians. John M. Chu? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I mean, look, as sentimental as nostalgic as Spy Kids is, like it would be we can't. Like that that's too far.
I love Crazy Rich Asians.
It's a great
It's-
great
It's a comfort food for me. So I think what's cool about that one is it's also just a facelift to a story we all know, the in-laws, whatever. But it's kind of the classic rom-com structure,
Yeah.
but with this amazing twist around the empire that is the character's families in Singapore, and I think that's really cool. I learned a lot about Singapore and actually about just geography that I didn't know that I definitely should have. But I don't know. It's one of my favorites. It's a constant come back and watch for me.
Move it on.
Yeah.
All right. I feel that's one of the first ones that I don't feel like I'm like making any kind of betrayals for.
I'm so nervous every time we finish.
I know the scroll of the computer is like anxiety inducing.
Yeah.
Next up, we have We Live in Time versus Knives Out.
Oh, I hate you. Okay.
Two kind of relatively new movies. So
Yeah.
So we just saw together We Live in Time.
Yeah.
We went after class. I had like a midnight showing or something, and we went to see it, and that was really touching. I really enjoyed it.
I found it absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And actually, it was after we filmed a podcast episode because I remember we were asked a question
Yes.
that was like, if there was an alien and we had to show them one movie, maybe we did that off camera, but there was something like that. And then after we saw that film, I was like,
You're right.
like it was the point was like teach them about humanity and the
Yes.
good that can come from it, and you know all these things.
Yeah.
And I looked today and I think this is the film. I think this is the film I
no,
showed the alien.
I think that's right.
Anyways, I think I have to go We Live in Time.
I have to go Knives Out. Knives Out is just one of my favorite, I don't know, murder mysteries. It's
Yeah,
also
it works so well.
it works so well.
so
It's
well.
not just cast. It's not just story. It's just I don't know. It feels like an Agatha Christie novel, but modern day. It just it works.
No, it literally does. I'm not mad if it moves on. I'm
Yeah.
still gonna go We Live in Time, but I'm not mad.
Okay. Luka, what you got?
So this is what it comes down to. Knives Out is fantastic.
Yeah.
Everything you said, cast, story, everything. I love it.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen We Live in Time.
Let's do
So
it.
Knives Out moves on.
We do
Fair
have to
enough.
watch that with them.
Fair enough. I'm not upset about this. I'm
Next
okay
up,
with this.
we have Barbie versus Logan.
That's a good matchup.
Thank you,
That's
sir.
an incredible
Well
matchup.
done. Hold on. That's really good.
They both work for such different reasons. Like, I mean, Logan is about the burden of his life, right? Like he's experienced all this loss, and yet he himself can't die. Like his power is his curse.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like he wants to die in that film at the start of it. Like he has given up on life, and I think it's so poetic that he is trapped in this world where he can't, and he has to learn through trying to protect this kid that he does have this purpose, that he does have this place in the world, but at the same time, it's like,
frightening. I get scared by Logan. I like it a lot.
it's like it's very raw. Like it's not what you would expect from like
That's right.
a Marvel superhero movie. Like it's very about the humanity within Logan. And I also think that's why, even just from a title, like Logan is the perfect title. It's not Wolverine slashes the moon or anything like this. It's just Logan, because that's what it's about. It's about him, the human being.
It's his
not,
most human. Yeah, exactly. It's the most human version, I think, of the character that we see. And it's almost like Wolverine After Hours. You know what I mean? Like, like
it feels like we're not supposed to see that.
Exactly.
Which I think is what makes it so cool.
And I love that about it.
Barbie, though. First of all, Barbie took the world by storm. And for a reason, right? So this is hard.
I also know what Luka would say for this one. Like, I know he likes both, but
I think he would go Barbie.
no, I think you go
think
Logan.
You know what I'd say.
I think you go Logan.
Nope.
Really? Okay. My answer's Barbie. I think, I don't know. There's a lot about the film that I had preconceived notions going in. Like, it's just going to be this toy movie, just a lot of product placement, and it was none of that.
Yeah.
I think, first of all, opening up with
Well,
Helen
in a
Mirren.
way, it actually is like
Made
reverse
fun- yeah.
product placement, because they're like,
Yeah.
look at what this has done culturally.
Yeah. It got people talking.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving was different because of that movie. You know what I mean? Like, it had a different cultural impact. Even similar to like Do the Right Thing or some of the films we've talked about. Like, there was some.
Yeah. Well, and it will be
legitimate-
interesting if over time,
I'm
what
really
is
interested
the
to see how it
way
ages.
people talk about
Yeah.
Barbie
Yeah,
in like a decade or 2 decades. So
it's fast.
I just think Greta Gerwig is one of the best living directors, and I think
Completely agree.
if given to anyone else, it wouldn't have been as good. I think she made it perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fair.
she had to make that movie for sure.
Agreed.
Okay, Barbie moves on, 100%.
I see the wild robot.
You see the Wild Robot. We have the Wild Robot versus West Side Story.
This is so
This one is actually completely targeted at you.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
How could you do this? First of all, is it the new West Side Story?
No, it's the
OG.
Okay.
OG.
I'm at a genuine loss. Like
It's just not the same narrative. It's.
See, like West Side Story to me is like the best telling of Romeo and Juliet. Like of that kind of core narrative. It's hauntingly beautiful. But yet the Wild Robot is this beautiful representation of motherhood and the sacrifices that are made. Do you know what you would do?
I do. I would go West Side Story. It's too impactful to me, I think. And part of my decision making for a lot of these is just my past. Because
Yeah.
I'm from the west side of Manhattan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it
No, I mean,
just,
I
like, the original
course.
overhead shot is my neighborhood. So it's just too relevant to who I am as a person. Not that Wild Robot isn't. We went and saw that together. I full on cried at the end.
we both. Yeah.
Openly crying. Beautiful film. But West Side Story, not only soundtrack, not only just dancing, music, just, man.
Yeah,
I mean, I have to play the soundtrack in the car.
I think it has to be West Side Story.
It's too.
It's
I
too
hate to see it
important.
go.
And so much love to the Wild Robot, though.
So much love.
Okay.
All right.
We have Pearl versus
Oh.
School of Rock.
Oh my goodness.
That's interesting.
I think I'm gonna have to go School of Rock.
I think so too.
Okay. 'cause
And I know that
look,
breaks Luka's heart.
Pearl
Just a little bit.
is great, and the last 4 minutes when she's just staring at the camera smiling is haunting. But School of Rock is just so like it's so campy and fun, and like I think part of the problem.
Are kids still say campy?
I don't know. Does that mean something else?
I don't know.
Luka, our
I agree
young,
with
young
you.
person translator, does that
No,
mean
I
something
agree
else?
with you.
I think modern cinema is very about like how can we make this the most cinematic, most sweep you off your feet, grand orchestral score kind of thing possible. And I love that stuff. But
Yeah.
I feel like we don't see as much movies like School of Rock where it is just this very like this charming that not trying to be something it isn't kind of film.
Sure.
And I love it. Also, watching it in the modern day is crazy because like Jack Black is like just kidnapping these kids and taking them all over the place to like, but like
I got some problems with it. But yeah.
it's a little like weird, but also it's just a great movie and
also great soundtrack. Music wise.
Yeah.
When he's in the band and he starts singing Immigrant Song, Led Zeppelin. Like, no. Just
yeah, such a good movie. School of Rock,
School of Rock moves.
all the way.
Pearl is like my one that I was like really rooting for in this bracket to go far, and I just knew it wasn't gonna go anywhere. So
Yeah.
it's fine.
Lost round one.
Next, we have Romeo and Juliet versus Night at the Museum. We're talking Leo, Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, I have my answer 100% on this.
I do too.
Romeo and Juliet, all the way.
Yeah.
Look, Night at the Museum. I don't dislike the film, and Robin Williams. That was his last role, right?
I think the third one was, yeah.
I think I've only seen the first Night at the Museum. Yeah.
We have to fix that.
I mean, it's charming movie, no doubt. But also, like, I just the Romeo and Juliet. Okay, now we have 2 Romeo and Juliets in the game when we move this on, right?
It's almost, well, okay. Okay, hold on. So, first of all, Night at the Museum is, I think, as equal to childhood as any of the other ones we're talking about. I remember having it on DVD and adoring that film. It was also like the first movie that had live action people that I think I connected with. Again, New York.
I didn't realize
again.
you had such a like personal tie to it like that.
It was one of my first.
Wow.
So it's more than just like, oh, it's a great movie, and it is a great movie.
Yeah.
It's more just like, I remember watching it at the beach on vacation with my family. I remember watching it in Chicago. I remember New York, like whatever it was. Baz Luhrmann is one of my favorite filmmakers, and is probably, I don't know, probably the strongest one that I've seen on this list when it comes to the filmmaker himself. Greta Gerwig's up there, Spike Lee's up there, but like, I don't know. This is my favorite Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, it's so well done, and the modern day, like placing it in the modern day.
Marcuccio in drag. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's great film. It has to be Romeo and Juliet.
That was a good one, Luka. I like that.
Thanks. I knew that was an obvious one, but next matchup: Top Gun Maverick versus Deadpool and Wolverine.
So I'm gonna be completely honest. When I saw Top Gun Maverick as the first film, I assumed I was choosing the other one, but I'm absolutely not choosing the other one.
You did not.
I did not love Deadpool and Wolverine. I didn't dislike it, but I think it works against itself. I think that it misses the point of what made the first two Deadpool movies so compelling. And whenever I try to talk about this with someone, they're like, "Oh, but it's Deadpool. Like that's the point. It's supposed to be bad." But like, I don't actually think that's like a valid reason because I love the first two Deadpool movies.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Look. I mean, Top Gun was just it was a facelift of an old movie, which I kind of liked. It hit all the right notes.
Yeah.
We had the volleyball scene. We had all the moments. Like, it did what it needed to do.
It was a spectacle, right? Like it was just it was what we were saying of just this grand display of what movie making can be.
Yeah.
And from a production standpoint, like it is genuinely super cool. And the reason I said I didn't think I was going to move it on is because like I'm not particularly obsessed with Top Gun Maverick. You know, I think it works and I think it's great, but I think that's that. So like I don't see it moving on much further than this. But I didn't take Deadpool and Wolverine, and I'm probably going to get a lot of.
It's interesting too that we have the same character in two films, Logan, and Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah, also true.
Next, we have La La Land versus Back to the Future.
How could you do this to me, Luka?
Ha 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 ha.
Wow.
That is so messed up for so many reasons.
Hold up.
I thought when La La Land was gonna show up,
Music alone, like
I thought I was going to I almost blindly would have been like La La Land.
Listen, you can still do that. Go.
He knows us too well.
With
This is
your heart.
Oh my gosh. Taye.
that was low, bro.
What do I do? Look, okay. I think La La Land is like one of the greatest movies ever made. I genuinely do.
I can't even look at you right now. I can't.
Hey,
I gotta go La La Land.
I think I have to. I can't though because Back to the Future I think it is one of my favorite movies ever made. It is absolutely stunning. This idea that in a movie about time travel, what are they racing against? Time. There's this fixed event that they have to have everything ready by. This lightning strike. So there's this beautifully tragic irony about having a time machine, and yet their only finite resource is time. They have to be here at this exact moment, or everything falls apart. That is so clever. And the whole movie, I think, is just like the most charming thing I've ever seen. Like all of the performances, the production design, the sets, like everything is just beautiful. Like I want to go to the diner in Back to the Future. I want to spend time with Marty McFly. Like I want the hoverboards. I want everything.
Yeah. It's also just a love letter to filmmaking, man. Like I don't know. Back to the Future is why I want to make movies. That's the type of story I want to make and have people connect with.
Absolutely. And it hurts so bad.
And La La Land is just makes you think a little differently.
Yeah,
too.
like well,
The reverse
La La
narrative
Land
at
like
the end.
puts a dagger in your heart and then twists it,
For sure.
and like that.
Which is also a love letter to filmmaking and to film
both
in
of these
general.
are absolute love letters to filmmaking in the art form, and these are two of my like. I could have put both of these as the final comparison and been happy.
La La Land.
Luka, I'm so mad at you. La La
I
Land.
think Tay's point where it's Back to the Future is why it makes you fall in love with making movies.
Yeah.
I think for me, La La Land makes me fall in love with watching movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really interesting comparison. It's just like Back to the Future. It literally like knows exactly what it's doing the entire time. It grabs a hold of you immediately. Like the opening of the film
Everyone can watch.
is incredible, and then it just carries you the whole time. Like there is not a moment of that film that it doesn't have you in the palm of its hands. Like that is expert storytelling.
Yeah.
La La Land. I feel so awful about
I
that.
agree, by the way.
I feel so awful about it though, because it's like this is like the difference, and even that is like so subjective.
The Sound of Music versus Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh my goodness.
This is the original one with Jeremy Allen White.
With Jeremy Allen White, yes. Carmy from The Bear is in this.
Yes. What are you gonna go with?
What are you gonna go?
I'm gonna go with Sound of Music.
Yeah.
I can't believe
It's-
we're agreeing.
Look,
Have we
I
disagreed
genuinely
there
like
once?
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and I feel like a lot of people don't. I think it's a great film.
I do too. I love it.
I mean, Gene Wilder, when he comes out, he's like limping,
Yep.
then falls, somersaults. Like, come on,
Genius.
so cool.
Also ad lib, by the way.
Yeah, no, he totally made that up. Sound of Music, though. I mean,
Sound of Music
it's
because
impact.
because
It's
of
like,
the music itself, sure, but that's one of those movies too that I don't know, like you forget about how films were created. And what I mean by that, it's like part of it is the geopolitical climate at the time. Part of it is the dynamic in gender and what representation means. But it's also just a story about what a father looks like. And what does a relationship look like when there's not a mother in it, but also there's someone who's raising the children. Like it's just layered in a different way and questions gender roles and gender dynamics in a really cool
film
way.
I also just feel like is this like amazing representation of the golden age of like of what we call Hollywood.
Sure.
This is it at its purest,
Yeah.
and like it's just
Yeah.
love is woven through every moment of
Now,
that
granted,
film.
there's absolutely no representation of color in that film, which I got some issues with. I understand
which is valid,
but
and I think we could
I
even
mean,
say there's
all these
minimal in Willy Wonka.
I don't think there is any. Sound of Music.
Okay, Sound of Music.
We have Spider-Man 2 versus Whiplash.
What? This is so hard because like it's an
I
incredible.
actually don't think this one's hard.
It's an incredible studio film, right? Like what I would say is probably, well, the best live action Spider-Man movie ever made. I feel like that's an easy take. That's not controversial, right?
Sure.
We'll see what the world says. So you have this, but it is a big studio film, huge name, huge IP, and then you have Whiplash, which is this total underdog, especially at the time of its creation, right? Total underdog when it was initially made, like absolutely insane that worked. So we have this like comparison of like big studio movie to this miracle of a film that got made, and yet they're both excellent.
I got to take Spider-Man 2 on this one.
Break it down.
I think it was my first superhero film watch, was that Spider-Man Tobey Maguire.
You start at Spider-Man 2.
No, just that narrative,
Yeah.
as opposed to Garfield or Holland.
I get you.
He's my favorite Spider-Man.
Tobey?
Maguire, yeah. I don't know. There's just something.
I have to go Whiplash, dude. I'm so sorry. It's just
Oh, okay. Oh,
I love Spider-Man 2.
oh.
I
It's not worth this going.
didn't either.
Okay,
But
all right.
the more I think about Whiplash, the more I just
Are you dragging or are you rushing? Okay.
there's so
All
much
right.
precision through every moment.
Okay, you lured me there. Okay.
So interesting.
Both world-class films.
I thought you guys would be switched on that.
So did I, actually.
I'm a little surprised.
I
Look,
was surprised you picked Spider-Man too.
J.K. Simmons is spectacular, also in Spider-Man, which is
Yeah,
nice.
he's in both of those
yeah.
movies.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't do that on purpose.
I like Whiplash, and it's probably a better narrative. I think Spider-Man's us, bro. Like Peter Parker is us.
Yes.
So
yes.
that story, I feel like I connect with more on a larger scale.
Yeah,
the
and I don't
eternity that is a
disagree with that at
superhero.
all. And also, I don't love to be like the Whiplash guy because it's like obviously like what I was saying is when it was made, it was a miracle. It shouldn't have been made.
Yeah.
All of these things.
You
now,
totally threw me off. I thought you were going
now, of
Spider-Man.
course, it is kind of like this almost like cliche film to be like, oh, Whiplash is amazing. Like,
Yeah, it's a little Tarantino. My favorite films.
You
Pulp
just mean in
Fiction.
terms of like the film bro.
Yeah. Like this
favorite movies.
like typical film culture. Yeah. Whiplash is this one that's talked about all the
I
time.
love Interstellar. Like it's in the.
Which
Oh, great.
great movies,
Great
of
films.
course. And that's
do the right thing,
what,
though.
like my hesitancy to be
Yeah.
Whiplash because I don't want to be the
No.
Whiplash guy, but I just think it.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's idolized by a lot of our professors as well. Like
Yeah.
sort of thing where it's this is what you guys need to strive for, and I totally agree with that. That we need to always take our art seriously. Well, that's not even true. We need to contribute just as equally and even beyond the scopes and scales of what the classroom provides. And
Certainly.
there's more than one way to tell a story.
No doubt.
Oh.
No doubt. I agree that the use of Whiplash is often like not. I'm not necessarily backing that when I say
Sure.
Whiplash here, but Luka, what's the tiebreaker?
So, Whiplash is that film for me that I watched when I was like 15, and I was like, "Oh, this is the best movie of all time. This is perfect. This is mind blowing. I'm gonna watch it 10 times. It's so good."
I think I win here.
You do, yeah. And you know, for me,
Yeah.
by quite a lot. Whiplash, and I know we just talked about this whole thing about Whiplash.
No, but like
being up there.
it's a
But
total
Whiplash-
tragedy that
Whiplash
Spider-Man
to
2
me-
goes out round 1. Like that is.
Yeah,
It sucks.
That's
but,
your fault.
I know.
But
I know.
also, Whiplash can't go out round 1
Okay.
to me.
All
You know
right.
what I mean? It's
I'm protecting childlike innocence. That's
it was shot in 19 days.
okay.
I actually think it was 18.
Okay, Spencer.
Well, I'm just saying it's even crazier. Okay. That was not supposed to be like, well, actually.
We have X versus the Batman. Good luck, X.
Yeah. The Batman.
I do love the Batman. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah. I mean, look, X, great film. Pretty scary. Really cool how it connects to Pearl. And
I do love that. I think
like,
that's really
like
cool.
that is it's super cool how thoughtful and woven together all of that is.
Have I seen all three?
No, you haven't seen Magazine. But
You
but
don't
the
need to.
Batman is just so it's just it knows what it's doing in every moment and it can't be rivaled. Like
It's an interesting take on the Batman. It feels like if a millennial was a Batman. Like it's moody. It's all the right things. There's eye makeup involved and low voice. Like it's how it almost feels like a
But
caricature.
I feel like
of
this is the
role.
same situation as Whiplash too, where like it's often spoken about for the wrong reasons. You know, like everyone loves the Batman.
Yeah, and listen, similar to a lot of those films, it's on everyone's mood board. It's on everyone's lookbook.
Yes, like
This is what I want it to look like. Sure.
Yeah.
We all want our films to look like that. And it does look great.
yeah,
Look great. But I think a strong argument could be made for X. And I almost want to take X here. Just to be
yeah.
be that.
But I wouldn't. I'd be lying to myself.
I would too.
I have to pick. The
And I
Batman.
love Robert Pattinson. I do.
Yeah,
Pattinson.
yeah.
Pattinson.
Let's do the Batman.
All right.
Alien versus the Wizard of Oz.
That is such a strange comparison. I also feel like both of these are hugely important in film history, right? Like
Yeah.
Alien,
Yeah.
I feel like was this huge moment for horror filmmaking. Like absolutely captured the world by storm. But similarly, like The Wizard of Oz, this is hard. But also like the production of The Wizard of Oz was like a total nightmare. Like, have you heard any of this? Like, some
People
really
died,
yeah, it like bad stuff. So I don't know to what extent we can separate. Like,
I don't love The Wizard of Oz.
well,
It kind of freaks me out.
and I have a weird relationship with it because
Theater
I don't
Batman.
just know, right? I've done a lot of theater in my past, and one of the shows that we did was
brings it
The
up
Wizard
in
of
every
Oz.
conversation.
Tay, where are
You know,
from?
there's so much stuff that I could have said right there.
That was a great comeback. That was good. That was good. I like that. All right, keep going. Keep going. Sorry.
Anyways, a lot of times I associate The Wizard of Oz with like our show of it, and sometimes like I forget to
No, I
fully think about the actual movie
For sure.
itself.
I think it's a great example too of just the strides that were made in filmmaking at the time too. Like
Yeah,
the color, fantastic,
production design, like
and beautiful costumes, and it incorporated depth really for the first time, even more than something like Gone with the Wind or something of that era. That
yeah.
I just think that's interesting.
I think it's hugely important in the world of film.
And it's still weird she's crip walking down the yellow brick road. Like I don't get that.
Yeah, there's a lot that's strange about that movie, and I think that's interesting too about film history is like anything that's old. There's always like there's
Sure.
always a
Right.
layered conversation where there's
Yeah.
multiple factors to these things.
Yeah.
I
I think I have to say Alien because it's also such a minimal film, if that makes sense. It understands patience and it understands the viewer's real
The Wizard
estate
of Oz
time.
led to Wicked.
So,
Why is he laughing?
because
Why are you laughing? You have to tell me why you're laughing.
I don't know. It was just funny to me. For some reason.
I hear that. I do hear that. But we have to I hear that.
I know that's not the bracket. That's not the bracket.
It's not on you. I know we can't ignore that, but at the same time, Alien's probably the best example of a sci-fi film that endures. It ages well.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there's
Also, talk about like some of the most like iconic imagery ever.
Oh my God.
Like when she's like backed
Sigourney
up against
Weaver.
the wall.
Oh
like,
my God.
Like that's referenced all the time in film, all the time.
We quote it all the time without even realizing it too.
Oh, like it is in our culture.
Alien. Alien's my thing.
Wizard of Oz.
This is a bad one to come to a tiebreaker for me because
Have you seen either?
I've seen both.
Yeah.
Don't know how much I care about either one of them.
Okay. That hurt.
You know, no, just truthfully.
No,
like,
it's fair, bro. It's fair.
if I never saw one of these again, I would be totally fine.
Like these are classics. Like
But I'm also gonna upset, and I'm gonna go with the Wizard of Oz.
okay.
That might probably be the better take.
Yeah, I think it
Literally.
doesn't need to move on.
I just know it a lot
I don't
more as
know
well.
that it's
On a
going to move
literal
on
level.
further than that. We'll see.
I believe this is the last one of the left side.
Oh, wow. We're moving.
This might be upsetting. We have Up versus Home Alone. Sorry in advance.
Like I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength. If I don't.
No.
I just tried to make a reference.
Wait. Hold on. Wait. So. Wait.
Okay.
Hold on.
Up is like one of the only movies that I feel like makes the general people watching it cry in the first 10 minutes. You know? Like that's hard. That's really
so
hard to
true.
do.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
like they have you so early on. But at the same time, Home Alone is expertly crafted. What movie does like so many people around the world watch every year? Like on repeat. Like that's something inherently that people don't do. Like, oh, I already saw that. I've seen that 5 times. Like, but like no one gets tired of Home Alone.
I agree.
I have to go Home Alone, dude.
All right. Hold on.
Up is great.
Up has you in an emotional chokehold till the end. The house landing on the canyon. It's funny. Kevin's
I
not
hear
Kevin.
you.
The kid's name. Kevin's the bird.
Kevin is the bird. Doug? No, Doug's the dog.
Mr. Frederick.
Oh, we don't even know the movie. I guess Home Alone moves on. Home Alone has to move on.
Was
Dude.
it?
Russell.
Thank you. Oh, that's funny. It
is.
works,
It
and
is. But
I agree. I'm with you. I'm with you.
It's got to
I
be
get
Home
you.
Alone.
I think Home Alone is my take, for different reasons than you, though. I like it because it's Chris Columbus. Chris Columbus, Julio Maca, the people who made it are actually some of my favorite filmmakers of all time. Anyway, Home Alone.
Yeah, Home Alone has to move on.
I agree with that take.
I don't love that Up is going out in the first. And
I feel
Wizard
like
of
we've
Oz moved on.
lost so much in the
We
first
lost
round
so much, and
that shouldn't have to go.
it
But
shouldn't. It really shouldn't.
I guess movies are just that amazing that there's so many good ones.
Moving on to the northeast side. First matchup, we have The Dark Knight Rises versus Get Out.
Oh, wow. The Dark Knight Rises.
So that's the second one.
Yeah, because the first one's Batman
This
Begins.
is with Heath Ledger.
Yes.
My favorite Joker, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
It's consensus best Joker, I think.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
definitely. I mean, Joaquin also killed it, but Heath Ledger, I mean, I'm sorry. It's flawless. Like, I think that's like one of the greatest like character portrayals like ever.
This is really hard. Get Out is the it is the personification of racism in the US. And it's the scariest horror movie in my eyes because of it. The Dark Knight Rises is, I think, my favorite Batman movie. So I'm comparing my favorite superhero
This is what makes this hard.
to my favorite horror.
Well, and it's like,
Favorite horror, but you know what I'm saying.
here's where I'm at with this. I feel like from just a movie experience alone, The Dark Knight Rises is probably a better movie. But Get Out is also so important for so many other reasons that it's like,
Yeah.
I would feel unethical if I picked The Dark Knight Rises, because does that mean I'm saying that the reasons that is a great movie is more important than the reasons Get Out is a great movie?
Sure.
Like that feels like a crime to do.
No, I feel
But like
I
it's hard because like what's the criteria? I think I shamefully have to say The Dark Knight Rises.
Okay.
But not to dismiss
Yeah.
anything or the impact of Get Out.
We lost Boys in the Hood, right?
We did. Does that influence your answer?
No,
here?
it's just
Sucks.
Yeah. I mean, what is your like? You can pick Get Out. I think that'd be completely valid.
I think it's Dark Knight Rises. I kind of want to pick Get Out just so he can be the tiebreaker because I kind of want to know that.
Well, we could still ask his opinion even if you pick the Dark Knight.
I gotta do Dark Knight. What would you choose, bro?
Get Out. But you
Yeah.
went with Dark Knight Rises. You
No, I
both
did.
went with
I
Dark
did.
Knight
did.
Rises.
I did.
Dark Knight Rises and people. It's close. It's really close. It's like
Yeah.
that's a difficult matchup, and I think it could go
It's just
either
like
way.
you're comparing
It depends
two,
on the day.
two different things,
Like,
right?
I think if I asked you that tomorrow, you might say Get Out.
I think that's also probably fair. Like, that is like such a hard comparison that I don't even like. I effectively flipped a coin.
But I want Get Out to be irrelevant one day. Do you know what I mean when I say that? Like,
You want the norm of culture to be so potently away from anything that Get Out could ever be that it would seem absurd to the world. Is that right?
yeah, I relate to Daniel Kaluuya's character, and I hate that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
It's
that's
why
why
it's-
it's scary to me.
It's why it's a masterpiece of a film.
For sure. And it's also why this world's so complicated and why a Black experience can be hard in this country. All of that to say, it doesn't take away from the film. It's still one of my favorites. And
Yeah.
thinking about it makes me uncomfortable. That's how affected I am by it.
Toy Story versus Dune 2. What a interesting.
Let's flip this table.
That is actually so immediately my brain went, I have to go Toy Story. But then I also went, well, wait, slow down. Because here's the thing. Toy Story, I think, is like, okay, if we're talking in the medium of animation, which we very passionately feel it, like a lot of the world, and this is changing, and that's a good thing that people are starting to see this, but like a lot of people have seen animation to mean kids, right? This is a whole medium of storytelling. We've seen absolute mind-blowing masterpieces told in this form. And Toy Story, in the history of animation, is probably one of the most important films ever made. Like the first feature-length 3D animated film. And not only was it that, it was a beautiful film and still is a beautiful film. But Dune 2, like, Dune 2 is going to age well, I think.
Oh, yeah. Toy Story 2 is my favorite Toy Story. And I think that's my cop-out. Just to say.
But
Dune
what about
2.
Toy Story 3 also? Like, that... I feel like, honestly, to me, the story of Toy Story is just the first three movies. Because like the theme is consistent. It's this idea of growing up and the things that we sacrifice as we grow up and the changes that we endure and all of these little nuances to growing up and moving on from things. And that's like so relatable. Even if you're, an adult and maybe you're not moving on from childhood, but there's something else like that story is so timeless. But also like Dune 2 is just...
I gotta go Dune 2. It's just too impactful. In the moment too. Like
I mean
it's not that Toy Story wasn't. It is. In fact, probably more. But the second one was just... The second one means more to me. And I don't know why.
I think I have to go Toy Story. I think
that's fair, bro.
Like, Dune 2 is so incredible. I've only seen it once, but I gotta go Toy Story.
I'm gonna go Dune 2. He's gonna go Toy Story. What do you got, Luka?
Dude, that's so bad. I was really hoping this one wasn't gonna come to a tiebreaker, to be honest.
Yeah.
This one
now your opinion's on the line too, so you can also get publicly.
It's so difficult. Toy Story is like that childhood movie for me, but I think Dune 2 is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I hate that it is, like, because it also, like, that's another one that, like, everyone talks about, But I guess it's also because it's so new.
So different.
And it's so new.
I feel like soundtrack alone, it moves on.
Oh, Hans Zimmer. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's Dune 2.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I still stick by Toy Story, but
that's a bad one. We have Trainspotting versus Gone with the Wind.
Oh,
I was not expecting
that's
that
the next round.
at all.
At all. Okay. Trainspotting for me.
I think so too.
Trainspotting is to do the right thing. What Lahane is to Trainspotting, like it's all the same narrative. And it all just works. Like it's kind of the reverse hero's journey, if that makes sense. Backwards and beats.
It's heartbreaking in the ways that it needs to be, and it has to be Trainspotting. Yeah, but
Gone with the Wind did revolutionize a lot, I know, in filmmaking.
Yeah,
talk about production design.
You know what I'm starting to realize as we're doing this? Like, we're gonna get destroyed on the internet.
Don't worry.
It's gonna be so much fun.
It'll be fine.
Trainspotting.
Gone with the Wind also is 3 hours long.
Is it really?
Yeah, I've seen it. Have you seen it?
I have.
All the way through?
Oh, I've seen it.
I've seen it once.
I guess I just didn't realize how long
it's like
it
a 3.5 hour movie.
In the Heights versus The Incredibles.
Who's gonna hate me? John M. Chu again. Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Both great films.
We've established I'm from New York, right? Have I said it?
You
in the
don't
past 5
mention
minutes?
it very
Okay.
often.
Okay. good.
Once or twice.
Once or twice. Okay. So this is, I think, in some ways, a modern day West Side Story. A love letter to my city, a love letter to Broadway, and to just what music means in New York. The Heights too is blocks away from where I lived. But it's just cool, man. It's one of my favorite films, and every summer I listen to that soundtrack. I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah,
That-
I would
that's my
not be
take.
mad at all if that moved on.
I'm
I
mad
do
at
think
you.
I have to go for The Incredibles.
completely fair.
I think, everything that it did with animation,
Yeah.
especially with human animation.
Yes.
Like, this was the first time anyone tried to do 3D animation with humans, because any other attempt, it was uncanny and disturbing and weird. And like, this opened up a whole new, like so many of my favorite animated films and shows and all of these things only exist because of what The Incredibles did.
Totally.
So-
that's a great thing. You can't go wrong.
Yeah. This is one where like I'm not mad either way, but
No,
I have to go Incredibles.
The Incredibles are going through. That's what Luke's gonna go for. I know.
Yep.
I know.
Not much to say.
Yeah.
The Incredibles is fantastic. It's so good.
I will say though, I'm kind of glad that like we're getting some animation representation moving on to the next round.
Forward, for sure.
So
All right, next we got Lehen versus Goonies. I'm gonna cry.
Okay, can I just say one thing?
I think you and I are gonna agree on this, but I think
Let me
Luka
just
will
say one
disagree.
thing. Luke, okay, hold up. Lahane, as I said, Train Spotting, Do the Right Thing. They are the same narrative of storytelling. Can we agree on that?
100%. They're like the same film, but like reskinned.
It's why we love it. One is through the guise of, I guess, French diplomacy and what, I guess the class breakdown looks like in housing projects and that sort of thing. And it's a beautiful film. Like, the mere shot alone is referenced. And it's such a great film. Such a great film. We have Train Spotting and Do the Right Thing in here.
We have to go
Goonies.
Goonies.
But you're going film for film. You're not going
Yes,
what you have. moved
I
on.
know, but
Just to be
I
clear.
think
Just to be clear
just-
on that
I think
statement.
even
Yeah.
still though,
Fair enough,
Goonies-
but
They don't make movies like Goonies anymore. No. It doesn't exist. And I hold that movie so close to my heart because it's exactly what you want to see on screen. Like, it hits all the right notes. It makes me happy every time I watch it. It's just kids doing their thing and exploring and being friends. And
Yeah, it's like the ultimate like adventure. Like, just there's so much warmth in that film, and it's absolutely
Chris
mind-blowingly
Columbus as
beautiful.
well, Spielberg. I don't know.
We gotta go Goonies.
Yeah.
fair enough.
Did Chris Columbus do the screenplay for it? I forget. But
That's the first one that kind of breaks my heart. a little
I'm
bit.
not sure, honestly.
we gotta Google.
And I know Lehen gets that rap of like, oh, your first French movie that you love, that's so cute, Lehen.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
like, it's a perfect film to me, which
Yes,
We
like,
also know so many French films.
we do. So I feel like
We don't have any
I feel like
French
I'm
films
educated enough on French films to say
Yeah.
Lehen is my favorite. Moving on.
all right.
Wall-E versus E.T.
Oh, that's really good. That's a good matchup. I'm gonna let you speak first.
So, I think like the common consensus is probably going to be E.T., not just in this room, but I think to people listening, which I think is valid. But I think for me personally, I don't have like a particularly intimate or important relationship with E.T., and I'm not saying that the film isn't important, and I'm not saying I don't like it. I love E.T., but Wall-E also holds like such a special place in my heart. I think the storytelling is so layered, from the statements about human nature, the nuances of these two robots that shouldn't kind of be together, forming this bond and this relationship, the conservationalism and environmentalism statements in it. Like, it's all very important stuff that I I value a lot, and so I think I have to go Wall-E.
I do have to go E.T. because it's everything we talked
Which
about.
yeah,
I'm consistent. I'm choosing all of the same movies as far as like it's the kids, it's childhood, it's nostalgia, it's all of those things. It's all the notes I want to create in film. But also,
and I think most people will probably be with you. Like,
it does have that cult following. I'll also say Stranger Things. It's Stranger Things. Plot-wise, narrative, same thing. I think E.T. is also just one of those films that my parents get excited when we watch together. They'll say things like, "Oh, I remember in junior high, I had my Trapper Keeper," and I'm not trying to make fun of them. I love you, Dad and Mom, but like this is your film, right? Like this is that.
yeah, no, I mean, I
My
think it's a
mom
very
loves
reasonable
this
take.
film, and I love my mom for loving this film. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just
Yeah. What's the tiebreak? I'm guessing it's E.T., which
It is E.T.
yeah, that's okay.
If I was told I could never watch Wall-E again, I'd be like, that sucks. If I was told I could never watch E.T. again, I'd be like, that really sucks. It's just what it breaks down to, I think. Next matchup.
All right.
I'm scared.
Iron Man 1 versus new, stop hitting the table, new 2024 film, Sing Sing. I think I nailed this bracket, guys.
Luka, what on earth have you done?
Ha ha ha.
Okay, hold on, just hold on.
I refuse to participate.
Hold on. We went to a film festival and we all saw Sing Sing together. It was spectacular. Amazing. It was amazing.
Also, I think like an important bonding moment for the three of us too.
It was a great story. Some of the actors were either previously incarcerated or incarcerated individuals. And I thought that was really interesting. Everyone was paid the exact same based on the time that they worked on the film. Things I'd never heard of before took place on that film. Really cool. Great acting, great story. It was just, it was touching.
It really was.
It was touching.
It brought out the humanity in something that a lot of people have like certain interpretations of, right?
Yeah,
like
right,
defaultly, like
exactly.
people assume
Yeah.
just blindly, like, okay, this person is imprisoned, like there's something inherently evil or wrong about them, and like I think it's this beautiful showcase of what humanity can be, and the fact that in spite of their very negative situations, because a lot of them were wrongfully incarcerated.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is a lot of them were in there for stuff they didn't do. And the fact that even though the world kind of said screw you to them, they still created something beautiful in spite of that.
Yes. And they were part of this huge
This theater
art
group,
form.
like
Yeah.
that, the fact that they found the ability to create in such hardship is wonderful.
And we also, well, I don't know if I can say this, but you can cut this if you want, but we were at a film festival where Coleman Domingo was there. And he talked about the film and what it meant to him, and just hearing someone that we admire so much talk about an art form and a piece of art that we admire so much. It was touching on a whole nother level. I was crying by the end of it. Oh.
The film is out, so you should be good to say that.
Yeah, I think we're okay.
If you haven't heard of Sing Sing, it's an A24 film that they didn't distribute very well, and a lot of people haven't heard about it. But I think it's A24's best film, and I think it's perfect.
Yeah, and you definitely check it out. It's hard. It's hard.
Okay.
Because Iron Man also launched probably what is the biggest film franchise ever.
Can I ask a question? Let's pretend for a second no other Marvel movies came out after Endgame. Would that change your answer?
Like they just said, like this is the end
At
of
the
the
end,
story.
yeah. Final stop, Endgame. Because are we talking about just the film or the legacy that is the MCU?
I mean,
Do you know
I
what
think that's important.
Because
But
we can't separate also.
right. But
what's
even
hard.
if we're like not necessarily saying the entire legacy of the MCU, the legacy of the character that is Tony Stark and Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal of Tony Stark.
Iron Man is my favorite superhero, just across the board. Tony Stark is. It's all the right things for me.
Yeah.
We often joke about who our superheroes are. He is the Captain America to my Iron Man. Like it's the right note for us.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell by the sunglasses.
Yeah. Iron Man 3, actually. Iron Man 3, like that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. And I don't know, like I think I pick Iron Man. And I think I pick it because of when I saw it, who I was when I saw it, who I saw it with.
I think I have to pick Iron Man.
2007,
which like
2008.
feels illegal, but
I do think Sing Sing is probably it's not even fair to say because Iron Man's almost the hero's journey with the twist and
yeah, I don't know that there's like any kind of reasonable way to compare the two films. I think it's just important to say like Sing Sing belongs on this bracket. And this bracket is full of great.
Luka's a terrible
great
person
movies.
for putting them against one another.
Yeah, I mean,
And both leading actors are spectacular. Robert
yeah.
Downey Jr. turned his career and his life around because of this film.
Yeah.
Well, not because of the film, but through this film was able to have a resurrection of a career.
absolutely.
Iron Man moves on.
Mm-hmm.
Good talk.
See, like, that hurt.
Yeah, that. Next matchup:
The Shining.
The Shining.
The Shining.
Versus Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh.
This
Is
actually
that
is
the correct title? Rise of the.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Yeah,
Cool.
that's the new.
Yes.
That's
Caesar.
Caesar's origin. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
This isn't that hard for me, to be honest.
Nor I. Also, we have a personal connection with The Shining just because of how much we have just explored it and studied it.
Yeah.
By frame. It's
The Shining is
story.
one of those movies that is almost seems impossible to me. Like I can't fathom how it was made.
it
I-
horrifies.
The time that it was made, like the filmmaking, every part of it. Like I just genuinely am unable to believe. And it's one of those movies that to me, like I don't really have an issue where if I watch a movie, I'm thinking about the fact that it is a movie. There is filmmaking behind it.
Sure.
That's not really, I don't think that way at all. But The Shining is one of those movies that like entered another plane of immersion of like nothing else mattered. I was in no room. I wasn't like, there was nothing else than that.
Yeah.
Like it, I've very few times in my life been like so enveloped in something that captured me in the way that The Shining did. And so for me, The Shining has to move on. Like, yeah.
I also saw The Shining with my dad, and that's like just a special moment that I remember,
Yeah.
and I will remember forever.
Especially because it's kind of about this like family falling apart through this.
Completely.
Yeah. Shining.
So layered.
Shining.
Next lineup.
Hugo versus The Matrix.
Oh.
Scorsese.
But also like the Wachowskis.
Yeah.
Look.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Monsters Inc. for a second. Mike was asking. Sorry. Okay.
Look.
Okay. Sorry. Whew, all right.
This is hard because Hugo is a love letter to film itself. Like that is the movie.
Yeah.
The Matrix, though, is also a love letter to filmmaking. Like it was revolutionary at the time.
George Méliès. I mean, come on. Just spectacular.
Yeah.
Hugo is my pick. I think it's a great story. I think it's relatable. I think it's real. I think it's all of the things.
I gotta go The Matrix. Are you upset about that?
No, because it's a great pick. Don't. I just love Hugo. I just love that. But yeah.
Matrix. What do you pick?
I haven't seen Hugo.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
That's right.
So can I actually say something though? Well, do you like The Matrix a lot?
I like it a decent amount.
I knowing Luka, I feel like he would pick Hugo, to be honest.
See, this is
would
how
too.
I feel as well because I'm a big fan of Scorsese's movies,
I think you'd pick Hugo. So,
but I'm not gonna pick Hugo because I haven't seen it. So
but I'm
that's
okay
wrong.
if we override that.
It's-
Because I genuinely
think it
believe
should be
you.
The Matrix.
It should be the-
Because I could pick The Matrix too. Like I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm mad at you.
It has to be. I can't pick something I haven't watched. Next matchup: Kill Bill Volume 1 versus Across the Spider-Verse.
What? Look, I loved Kill Bill. I did, which was the first and only Tarantino movie I've ever seen, which I realized is going to spark a lot of like, how can you say you like movies? Different conversation.
Yeah, this is the only Tarantino on the whole bracket.
Because it's the only one I've seen.
Yeah.
But I have to pick Across the Spider-Verse. I think that is like that is Home Alone in the sense that I can watch that movie infinite times.
Yeah.
I mean, it came out last year, and I think I've already seen it over 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
And every single time, my mind is blown. It is quick. It's beautiful.
bro.
It's intimate, while being and like the multiverse is something that I think is almost always done wrong. Like they don't understand what is compelling about the multiverse, and it's just cool to be cool. So we can have cool cameos, so we can have cool characters. But Spider-Verse, while being in this world where sometimes you have a shot with 1,000 Spider-Men, what's most important is the moments between Miles and his mom when she says, "It's hard to see my little boy become my little man." Like that hit my heart to watch Miles and Gwen swinging and talking and we got Mona Lisa playing. Like these moments are just so well crafted. I have to go Across the Spider-Verse. What about you?
I don't know. I just don't know, bro. I think
I kind of honestly was expecting you to agree with me, so I'm a little caught off guard.
I'm too. Because I really want to agree with you. It's the ultimate revenge tale. It's John Wick. It's
Kill Bill 1 is so good. So is Kill Bill 2, but Kill Bill 1 is so good. Like, the script, all the dialogue, it's minimal dialogue in 1. But there's just so many parts that are like some of my favorite lines in all of film. Like we were talking about the other day.
Yeah.
That one where she goes, "Now we're all square," and she draws out a square with her fingers. I just love that.
I gotta go Across the Spider-Verse.
It's cool. This is a tough one. That hurts me a little bit, but
Yeah, I expect that it would, but I'm sorry.
It's hard. It is hard.
Yeah.
I'm emotional.
Yeah, like I feel kind of like drained right now. But we got to keep going. So next one, right?
well, you already see a sneak peek of the next one, so get ready to
Okay.
be more emotional.
Uh-huh.
Elvis
What is he gonna?
versus Harry Potter 1. Is that Chamber of Secrets?
Yeah.
No.
No, Sorcerer's Stone. See, this is more evil to
I'm just
you.
angry. I'm just
towards
angry
you.
at you, bro.
Yeah.
Because first of all, I'm the Harry Potter fan in the dorm, so I recognize.
But you're also the Elvis fan in the dorm.
I recognize that I'm.
Yeah, this one, Luka. This is messed up.
This is mine. I
Yeah,
get it.
this is a Tay matchup.
And
yeah.
Elvis, another Baz Luhrmann film. My favorite Baz Luhrmann film. I love the film. I love the soundtrack. Whew. Okay. All right. Let's break it down. So first of all, Harry Potter is the story. It is everything that I love about storytelling when it comes to the Luke Skywalker hero's journey. This is that thing. So my answer is Harry Potter because it is the type of story that I want to tell and that I love to share. Elvis is the only biopic that I think I've seen so far on this bracket. Is it the only biopic on the bracket? at all?
Probably.
I believe so.
Okay. So it's hard because it's amazing that a biopic made it onto this list, but also it's a story that is someone's life. So it's hard to root against someone's life, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
I also am gonna have to go Harry Potter. I also think if we didn't pick Harry Potter, people would have a major issue with that.
I thought Elvis was going to get one vote there.
Really? Yeah. No.
There's no point in me even getting into it but we're talking Harry Potter 1. It's so good,
Dude.
but I also haven't seen Elvis, but like,
let's move on.
let's move on.
Luka knows what he's doing.
He does. No, he does. He's
This is thought through. Like there's intentionality here. Oh.
Beauty and the Beast versus John Wick.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry, but Beauty and the Beast is just way too important.
I was afraid you were going to say
that. I love John Wick. I think it is a phenomenal film, and also one I can watch a lot of times, and like I'm still good to watch it again.
So this is really interesting. Luka's not seen John Wick. Have you seen Beauty and the Beast?
Yes.
My take's John Wick. It's the ultimate revenge tale. It's the Odyssey. It's everything that I think matters to me with the ultimate stakes.
Well, also talk about like how to do an action movie right, because it's not just like there's so many action movies that just
It's not the Expendables. Yeah, no,
right. It's just like, and there's nothing wrong with those. And like I watch those. Like,
I
those
love those
classic
types of
action
films.
movies, like Six Underground, The Gray Man, like
Yeah.
good movies. But John Wick is just so
It's artful. It's poetic. It's like a dance. It's like watching a ballet. A
a ballet is perfect for it, which is also cool because of the ballerina.
Yeah.
But
Really excited for
it
that.
is absolutely elegant. But at the same time, Beauty and the Beast is a tale as old as time.
No.
But
If it
also the ballroom scene where the camera in a 2D animated film, hand drawn, orbits around this dance, like that to me is so artful and nearly impossible to even fathom.
I'm gonna say one thing.
I think you're gonna say if it was the live action, you'd pick it, which you're gonna get some hate for that.
I know I am.
Oh yeah, I disagree with that.
Well, you know, Luka, I love the live action one. I just love the live action one because of the cast.
Great cast.
It's just some of my favorite people ever.
And the performances are incredible. Like Evermore.
I'll start crying if we talk about it. So we gotta move on.
It's not even what's on the bracket, so.
Yeah, I know. But I picked the animated one over John Wick.
I can pick John Wick.
Beauty and the Beast moves on.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not mad at it.
I think if I saw John Wick, I'd pick John Wick. But
You would. Because that's also more aligned with you.
All right, next one.
Next, we got the Wachowskis. Monsters, Inc. versus Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Sorry.
Wow.
I did it. It took me a second.
This is interesting.
I don't think I realized how weird Fantastic Mr. Fox was until I was older.
That's Scorsese, right?
No, that's Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson.
Oh,
It's very psychedelic.
Very psychedelic. But I didn't know that. You know what I mean? I just thought it was a cool stop motion situation. I think my pick is Monsters, Inc.
I think so too. Which I actually think might be disagreed with. I think Luka will definitely disagree with that.
I don't.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love
Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll catch some heat for sure. Fantastic Mr. Fox has looked on very.
Yeah. I mean, dude, with the comparisons you built, I think no matter what we will pick,
We're hated. That's fine.
That is the aim of the game.
yeah, it's completely unethical. Completely.
believe we agreed to this.
I know. And it's going to come back to haunt us in like 10 years.
Next matchup. Oh, this one. Life is Beautiful versus Tokyo Drift.
Okay. Hold on.
I know what you're going to pick.
Hold on.
And
Hold on.
everyone's going to disagree
No,
with it.
no. Okay. Hold on. Let me just.
I cannot participate in this.
Hold on.
I don't know, Tay.
Spencer. Okay. Hold on. Life is Beautiful is my take. Let me clearly.
Okay.
It's my favorite Italian film. His Oscar acceptance speech is hilarious. I have to show that to you. You've seen it? Luka?
No, I have to see the film.
Have you seen it? You've
The
seen
film?
it? Yeah.
Yeah, we've
Okay.
seen
Yeah, of
everything
course you've
yet.
seen this. The reason Tokyo Drift is on this is we wanted to have a a franchise film that still has a compelling story. So this is my favorite.
That also stands on its own.
That also stands on its own. So this is my favorite Fast and Furious movie, and I think I've seen them all. I think they just came out with
I've only seen like I think the first 4.
I think I've seen the first 9, which is crazy. I haven't seen them all, and there are 9. But all that to say, this is my favorite one of them.
Yeah, but Life is
Han
Beautiful
as a
definitely
character is my favorite character. All that to say, we're gonna put that aside. Life is Beautiful is my favorite Italian film and is probably in my top 10 favorite films of all time. Not only is it a beautiful story between the love of a father and his son, but it is also a beautiful story where he is able to convince his son that they're playing a game in a concentration camp.
Life is Beautiful has to move on.
It has to move on.
How to Train a Dragon versus Pirates of the
that's
Caribbean.
a great matchup. Pirates of the Caribbean's my take. Score alone. I just can't.
Oh yeah, so iconic. But dude, How to Train Your Dragon also has a phenomenal score.
I get, come on. I hear it in my head.
How to Train Your Dragon score.
I
though.
know. But Captain Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I see
That first
I see
one?
the scene of his entrance, which
Yes.
is so
Oh.
ironic and beautiful.
So fantastic.
Epic pirate coming into shore. Cut to wide, his ship is sinking, and then he just
basically
like walks
how I
off
arrived
onto
to set
the dock.
today. Yeah.
It's Pirates of the Caribbean.
I was shocked to see How to Train a Dragon on this bracket.
Okay, I'm seeing A New Hope and getting very nervous.
I know.
So this is the
Luka has not seen
what
any
did he
Star
put
Wars
this
films.
against?
So this is the last matchup of the first round.
It's gonna. What did you put this against?
I'm not even gonna read them out.
Okay.
That is
Okay,
clever.
okay.
Good job.
Thank
Well
you.
done. Well done.
Well done, but like I think we know the answer.
Every father is just crying out right now. My dad went, oh.
I'll read them out just in case someone's just like listening. We have A New Hope versus Raider of the Lost Ark.
It has to be A New Hope.
It has to be A New
like-
Hope.
But
Oh my God. It has to be A New Hope. Han Solo's my favorite. I like Han Solo more than Indiana Jones. It just, that's it.
yeah.
Full stop.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, great
Great.
movie. Also, I don't love talking about shots, but Raiders of the Lost Ark has one of my favorite shots of all time.
Oh, is it the sundial?
With the sun behind them with
Yeah.
all the pickaxes. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I think it is one of the most beautiful like pictures.
You would like Lawrence of Arabia.
visually
Yeah.
that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got to be A New Hope. I mean, come on.
Okay.
If we didn't pick A New Hope, that'd be the end of our careers.
I can't believe we got through that.
Okay, yeah. So that's
So
the end of the first
round
round.
one. We've at least seen all the movies that are on the list.
Okay.
But
Okay,
now,
we're good.
Now we have to start comparing movies that we picked to win against other movies we picked to win.
All right, into the northeast. Is that no? Northwest. Sorry.
We're
Never
out of
eat
school
shredded
students.
wheat. We have Breakfast Club versus Ratatouille.
I didn't know there was
It's,
another.
no, it's
coast.
actually never eat soggy waffles.
Okay.
All right.
I,
I thought he was going to react more than that. He just
I
want.
think I like mine better. It's fine.
Okay.
What was yours? Say yours.
Never eat shredded wheat.
All right. So, Breakfast Club versus Ratatouille.
I think I have to go Ratatouille.
Likewise. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go Ratatouille. It's again my favorite Pixar film, and I don't know. There's something oddly charming that's not novel to me about it. But I still love Breakfast Club. So sorry, Mom.
Yeah, Ratatouille.
Do the Right Thing versus Crazy Rich Asians.
I did not realize these two were right next to each other. Do the Right Thing.
For sure. It's a great film.
Both are great films, but
Both are great.
Knives Out versus Barbie.
oh.
This is an interesting one.
So
I enjoyed the film and story of Knives Out more, but I was probably more surprised by how much I enjoyed Barbie.
yeah,
I think
I think that's
go
a
Knives
very.
Out.
I think we have to go Knives Out.
But ask me that question in 10 years. I'm so interested to see what I
Right.
say.
That's the thing is who knows.
Feels like quite an underdogs who have made it this far, actually. Knives Out. West Side Story versus School of Rock.
West Side Story.
Yeah, it's hard because they serve two very different purposes in
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
And like they're almost like on complete opposite ends of the spectrum as far as like the tone.
It's interesting. I would have had School of Rock go out in the first round and would have picked it this time.
So do you not like West Side Story?
I do. I just really like School of Rock.
Yeah. Okay. Next round.
Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, what's the point, man?
Well, I didn't even say anything. I agree, but
I did enjoy Top Gun, and it felt like Top Gun. And I like Top Gun for the same reason I like a lot of those classic films, but, you know, Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet it is.
Oh.
La La Land versus The Sound of Music.
That's actually a great matchup.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool that
Yeah.
these end up against each
La
other.
La Land. I like La La Land.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what I'm starting to understand?
Yeah.
We keep pushing La La Land up, and we keep pushing Do the Right Thing up.
There is
Yeah.
a reason they're on the same side, brother.
Yeah. Well, Luka's a terrible person, as we've established, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah, they're both very important films here, La La Land and
Yeah.
The Sound of Music, and
And
I
I would
don't-
say one affected the other
certainly.
quite a lot.
But I think La La Land
Agreed.
will forever serve a special place, even as it ages.
Yeah.
Um,
And as an external piece of art, I just adore it. I love
Yeah.
Emma Stone. I love Ryan Gosling. Just some of my favorite people.
and every little nuance of the execution in that film, it's just unbeatable.
It's ridiculous.
So good.
Whiplash versus The Batman. Very similar.
So this is
tone
kind of
of
cool because like these were both of the films that we said we picked it, but they also have that
Yeah.
interpretation of like the other ways.
I think for me, it's the Batman. I just think I'm entertained more. I'm also so stressed out during Whiplash.
I think I have to pick Whiplash, to be honest.
Yeah.
Which I actually have no idea what Luka's gonna pick because he loves both
He's
of
gonna
these.
take Whiplash.
It's really interesting because, yeah, I don't know. And I'm going to kind of try and talk through it to find an answer.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
okay.
Talk to me.
The Batman features one of my favorite actors, and I think he's my favorite Batman.
Yeah.
Robin Pattinson.
Okay.
Very gothic, very Kurt Cobain inspired. It was one of my idols. Whiplash isn't my favorite Damien Chazelle film.
What is?
Babylon.
Really?
Oh.
Then La La Land, then Whiplash.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go the Batman,
Okay.
which feels wrong.
No, I mean it's okay.
No, it feels wrong to me as well.
I could totally be swayed though.
The Batman moves on.
I think the Batman movie, I could be swayed. Like,
Blow on
Yeah.
me and I'll like.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a hot take. I think
Home Alone.
Wizard of Oz versus Home Alone.
Home Alone for sure.
It's just too meaningful for us.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, but Home Alone is one of the most important movies I've ever watched.
The monkeys also freak me out, and Wizard of Oz, the flying monkey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why were they flying monkeys again? Was that?
I feel like you could put the word "why" in front of anything that has to do with the Wizard of Oz, and there is no answer. So
The Dark Knight Rises versus Dune 2.
this is a good comparison. In a bad way. Like, I don't want to have to pick. I have no idea what you're going to say to this. I'm going to get eaten alive for this, but I think I have to say Dune 2. Maybe it's just because my personal relationship with it.
So you
And-
didn't choose Dune 2 in the first bit.
Yeah, but Dune 2 wasn't against The Dark Knight Rises,
I think I'm going to choose The Dark Knight Rises.
which you also did. Oh, no, we both picked that. Yeah. Okay.
This is fascinating.
Luka, what's the tiebreak?
Dune 2. Actors Dark Knight Rises is better, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, not by a lot. Not by a lot.
Wow. I mean, I don't disagree, but also now I'm realizing like you're talking phenomenal cast versus phenomenal cast. Like, I wouldn't even play that game.
The soundtrack really pulls me into Dune 2. It really sways me.
Yeah.
And it's just an incredible story.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Okay, next one.
Trainspotting versus The Incredibles.
Wow.
The Incredibles.
I think I have to say The Incredibles. I'm so sorry, Luka.
Me too.
I'm truly
very
sorry.
sorry.
But
To be fair, you did think it was going to go out in the first round.
Trainspotting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luka's not going to drive us back home after
No,
this.
it's cool.
Yeah, Luke was alright.
I thought it might be The Incredibles.
It's The Incredibles. I'm sorry.
It's cool. I love The Incredibles so much.
These are starting to hurt a lot.
Yeah.
It's just Trainspotting. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I don't need to get into it.
I know.
Next matchup.
Oh.
Goonies versus E.T.
Goonies.
Yeah. Yeah. I have so much more of a
Childhood, beauty, and all.
important relationship with Goonies than E.T. I'm kind of surprised at some of the things that have made it this deep though into it.
It's interesting.
All
Next
right,
matchup.
Next matchup.
Iron Man versus The Shining.
Wait. I actually genuinely need to think about this.
I have my answer. It's just too impactful for me.
The Shining.
No, Iron Man. I know.
Look,
I know.
I think you have to pick The Shining.
I should.
Like it is
Yeah.
executed better.
Oh, I know.
You're not gonna budge.
Iron Man's just too nostalgic.
It's about favorite at the end of the day.
All right.
That was me at the end of the day. The happiest I've ever been watching that and playing with my Legos. Do you know what I mean? Like that's childhood.
No, I hear you. But I can't.
I know.
I know. I can't budge.
Yeah.
Luka, what's the tie?
The Shining.
Oh, The Shining. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the right one to move on.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But I stood my ground. We also say
It's also my favorite director of all time. So
it's also like I think the strongest opening to a horror film I've ever seen. That winding road.
Yeah, that long helicopter shot.
Horrifying.
it's sick.
Horrifying.
Matrix versus Across the Spider-Verse.
What are you gonna go with? Who is Spencer?
I don't. Let's really think about this, because like they both have like this sci-fi element of like different worlds almost, right? Like there's the real world in the Matrix, and then there's the simulated worlds. So I think these are similar in certain ways. Okay, here's honestly my opinion. I think the Matrix is a better. Maybe I don't feel it this way. I was gonna say The Matrix is a better story, and Across the Spider-Verse is better execution.
Oh.
But also, that's kind of not true either way, because like Across the Spider-Verse's story, world class, like
It's also the
so layered and so built in, right, with what Spider-Man is, and it breaks that mold though, because it simultaneously like it attacks us fans who are like, you don't understand the character of Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man, his journey is hardship. It is about loss. And it addresses that, but also says like no to it. Like it is Miles rejecting like, this is not my story. You cannot put me in this box.
Yeah.
Which I think is so cool, because I also am kind of one of those people that's like part of what I love about Spider-Man is what he endures, right? All of this hardship that he endures. And I love these parts of that character. Which is what I think makes Across the Spider-Verse so cool, is because it's so multidimensional like that. Like, I agree and disagree with everything in it. So much so that I don't even know what the point it's going to try to make in the next movie is. I don't know if it's going to not work out with Miles' dad, and he's going to have to experience this loss, and that's going to shape him and who he is. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if he is going to break the mold. Like, that's kind of cool. That like they both make sense. At the same time, though, The Matrix, the execution of it, of both these films, is top notch. Like, changed filmmaking history. I think both of them, especially with time across the Spider-Verse, will have changed animation forever. Matrix changed live-action filmmaking forever. How do you even pick this?
I'm going across the Spider-Verse. I think the story of Spider-Man it's too captivating for me. I think Miles Morales as a character is real. There is something very genuine about the Spider-Verse narratives around Spider-Man and around, I don't know what the arc of Spider-Man looks like. It's more than Uncle Ben. It's more than the fact that we all wear the suit. It's that burden is so accessible to everyone and so transferable and exists in every verse. So I don't know. There's something real about that. And I love The Matrix. I love Keanu Reeves. I love everything that went
Lawrence
into that.
Fishburne is amazing in that. Yeah.
Let's do it.
I think I'm willing to agree with you.
Okay.
I don't love it,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think any choice that could be made here I'll feel good about.
Harry Potter versus Beauty and the Beast.
Oh. I think it has to be Harry Potter.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah,
Deep breath.
Yeah, scared for a second. Yeah. All right.
it has to be.
It
has
does.
to
It
be.
does. It does have to be.
Monsters Inc. versus Life is Beautiful.
Life is Beautiful is just too layered a story into simplistic a story,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Like it is a layered, simple story. And I love Monsters Inc.
Yeah,
Also
no, I mean-
revolutionized animation.
Why do I already not feel good about this bracket?
A New Hope.
Pirates of the Caribbean versus A
Do you
New
feel
Hope.
good about this bracket?
I don't feel good
I don't
about
feel good about
anything
it
that's
at
taken place
all.
today.
How did we get here? How did we get here?
A New Hope. A New Hope for me. It's got to be
Yeah.
A New Hope.
Yeah,
It
has to be.
it's the Iliad, it's Beowulf, it's all the right things.
We're on to round 3. First matchup of round 3, we have
Oh,
Ratatouille
my
versus Do the Right Thing.
goodness.
What are you going to pick?
I think I have to pick Ratatouille.
I think I do too. Yeah. I think I remember watching that with my parents when I was 4 years
I
old.
was not expecting that.
I know. I'm wearing the shirt. I know.
This is evil. This is messed up and twisted. These events should not be happening right now.
I think Luka's astonished.
Just to be clear, Tay showed me this film. And I would pick it over Ratatouille.
Yeah.
I think what's interesting is if you go like really broad in terms of the like broadest themes,
Sure.
I think there actually is some overlap.
For sure. Let me say this.
I feel like acceptance is a word that comes to mind
Sure.
for both of these films as themes.
I think both films have mattered a tremendous amount for me. A huge, huge amount. When I think about the emotional arc that I have experienced with Ratatouille, I've grown up with Ratatouille. I saw Do the Right Thing when I was beginning of high school, very, very beginning of high school. And I loved it. But I love it more as I get older. Ratatouille has way more layers. I've been able to watch it 10 more years than I have Do the Right Thing.
Yeah, and its lesson, because of how complexly it's woven in, I feel like you understand it differently at different points in your life.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying that Do the Right Thing doesn't have that, but it's
you can't-
louder in its messaging, in the fact that it is like, this is our point, and that's okay, and that's
Yeah.
right for that film.
Yeah. Also, a 4-year-old can watch Ratatouille. A 4-year-old can't watch Bugging Out.
Yeah,
They can't watch Radio
Yeah.
Raheem.
yeah.
And if they did, it just wouldn't make sense. Ratatouille is palatable. It
It's-
is consumable and digestible
Right.
in a sense that anyone, whether you're 8 or 80 years old, can watch. Some
I
beautiful-
watched Ratatouille with my grandmother, and she loved it.
There are more touch points there.
Yeah. Dude, I think every single one at this point is gonna hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
Next matchup. Knives Out versus West Side Story.
Okay, this one's not too bad.
For me, it's West Side Story.
Yeah. I gotta go West Side Story. I'm really surprised by what's this late in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you told me on the final side of the final films on the left side, we're gonna be Ratatouille, West Side Story, and things like this, would not have guessed that.
Next up, we got Romeo and Juliet versus La La Land.
We know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay.
La La Land. I just love Romeo and Juliet as a story too.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate just love story.
I think it's the ultimate
In some
tragedy.
ways-
Like,
In some ways, La La Land is a Romeo and Juliet of sorts, just without
Yeah.
the poison.
without the death. It's the price, man. It's the price.
The Batman versus
Home
Home
Alone.
Alone.
Yeah. Home Alone. Home Alone.
Luca's
Come
just
on.
slowly dying with every bracket.
No, I don't mind that one.
It's just Home Alone. I'm so sorry, but I think it's like one of the
Yeah.
very few like perfect movies.
I feel that. Do the Right Thing against West Side Story would have been interesting.
Yeah. What would you have picked?
Do the Right Thing.
Yeah.
Moving on to the right side.
Northeast.
Yep.
Couldn't remember, could he?
No, I literally can. Dune 2 versus The Incredibles.
June 2.
Yeah. It's gotta be Dune 2. It's gotta be Dune 2.
Thank the Lord.
The Incredibles had a good run. But it's the end.
It had a crazy run.
What did it beat? Can we see this?
Trainspotting and In the Heights.
Wow.
That's a crazy run.
Yeah, that is a crazy run.
Whoa.
Goonies versus The Shining.
These serve two very different roles in our lives.
Goonies for me.
I have to go The Shining.
Okay.
I think the
He
Goonies
was so scared.
is more important in my heart
Mm-hmm.
and for who I am and for creating that connection.
Yeah.
I just think The Shining is so well done.
Alright.
It's hard.
If you
for
can
me
live
to-
with that, brother.
I have to.
I think that's a great pick. The Shining, I mean, Stanley Kubrick. How can...
All right.
Are we in final 8?
No, we got.
Oh, clearly I can't keep track of this at all.
You're doing good.
We have Across the Spider-Verse versus Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, Harry Potter.
Oh,
Look. I'm gonna try to sway Tay before you even intervene.
Bro, there's no point. There's just no point here. I know exactly what you're gonna say too, but break it down. You can break it
That's
down.
okay.
Break it down.
I
get
my
it.
fear is Luka. I think Luka's gonna pick Harry Potter.
I think he's 2.
are you right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not changing his mind.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just too classic a
come
tale.
on.
It's just too. It's too.
I think if you watch them back to back right now, you go Harry Potter is better.
That's true.
I think seriously.
Spencer also has not seen all of the Harry Potters.
That's true.
Which actually, I don't know if it would change for you, but
Even if you watch the first one, you're connected to those characters so much.
Yeah, look, it's an amazing movie, an amazing story. I mean, move it on. I guess who wins?
We have Life is Beautiful versus A New Hope.
A New Hope, and I I don't feel like amazing about that, but it
And
is
it's
what
A
it
New
is
Hope.
for
It-
its
I think it has to be A New
for a
Hope.
reason.
Yeah.
You can't take that away.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Can we go to like the drive-thru of McDonald's? I need to eat my feelings.
Ratatouille versus West Side Story.
Ratatouille.
How is this the final 8 though? Like
That's a crazy final eight matchup.
No, it's not. No, it's not, guys.
Oh.
No. Stop for a second. Stop for a second. This is who we are as filmmakers. This is the difference. These are our conversations. We value emotional connection and emotional arc in characters more than anything. So this makes a lot of sense. These are the movies with the heart. And I'm not saying Do the Right Thing doesn't have heart. It has so much heart. But Ratatouille has emotional childhood connections that we remember since we were 4 or 2 years old.
Yeah.
Like, I remember seeing Ratatouille.
I gotta say Ratatouille. I gotta do it.
what I'm
Sorry,
saying.
West Side Story. I was so not expecting Ratatouille to be final 4.
I was.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
You knew I would choose.
Not for me, but for you guys, yeah.
Yeah.
You knew I would
I know.
choose Ratatouille over Do the Right Thing.
I knew that was a high chance.
Yeah. I knew you would know.
Yeah.
Next one.
La La Land versus Home Alone.
Oh, I did not realize that this was. Okay, these both belong in the top 4. These belong here. Right? Come on.
Top 8.
Top 8, you're right. I think they'd both belong in the top 4.
Yeah, it's true.
I think I'm choosing Home Alone. Oh my God, that silence is deafening.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just gonna step out for a
No,
second.
I'm sorry. La La Land all the way.
Okay.
These are both some of the greatest films I think have ever been made. La La Land. I can't.
Luka, what you got?
I can't give it to Home Alone.
So, Home Alone is like a movie that I grew up with watching like every year. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin is ridiculous.
Mhm.
I know he wasn't like treated that well and set and stuff, but he's so good in the film.
He is extraordinary.
La La Land's one of those ones where it came to me as like a teenager. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm gonna pick it.
Yeah.
La La Land wins.
That stressed me out a lot.
Yeah, that feels wrong, but it feels right too. La La Land's so
I
good.
still don't even like 100% agree, but I gotta stick with it. I have to.
Let's just move on from this screen.
Yeah,
so
I
we
can't
don't
keep
have to
looking
look
at that. Please take it away.
Dune 2 versus The Shining.
It's so hard.
Probably Dune 2.
It's hard because we love these things
Dune 2.
so much. I think both of these films have the effect that I was talking about with The Shining, where it's so well crafted that nothing else is real. Nothing else matters while you're watching these films. And that's partly been the thing that I've used to justify The Shining moving on. But Dune 2 has that. Dune 2.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
As much as I'm glad it didn't go to a tiebreaker, I would have picked The Shining.
I thought so. Yeah.
But I'm not mad at Dune 2 being in the position
Yeah.
it's in. It's so good. I'm honestly not that mad about that one. But
All right.
if it came down to it, I would have picked The Shining.
What is this next one? Is this a brutal one? Oh, New Hope's in it. What is it against?
I'm just sad now.
Just to be clear, it's Harry Potter versus A New Hope.
I don't know what you're gonna pick. I think I have to pick A New Hope. But I know you have like a deep relationship with Harry Potter, with the behind the scenes, with everything surrounding that film. What is it gonna be?
It's going to be Harry Potter.
Luka, you agree?
I haven't seen A New Hope.
Dude, you're gonna get fried for that.
Yeah.
We're working on it. We're gonna show it to him. hasn't seen A New Hope.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
That is a crazy reason for that to win,
good.
though.
That's good.
Okay.
That's great. I
Top
forgot about that.
4.
Final 4. All right. This is where it gets.
Woo!
Yeah.
This is such a weird comparison.
Ratatouille versus La La Land.
What are you gonna do?
I'm doing Ratatouille.
La La Land. It's La La Land. Sorry.
My eye is like twitching right now.
What's the move, bro?
It's La La Land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dune 2, Harry Potter.
Oh. Oh.
Dune 2 versus Harry Potter.
Oh.
It's HP for me.
It's Dune 2 for me.
Yeah, this is a sticky one for me.
I won't be mad. I won't be mad.
No.
Do what you have to do.
You won't be mad because I'm going Dune 2,
I knew he would.
which is ridiculous.
No, I knew
And
he would.
if any of my family's watching this, they're going to be like, what?
How are we supposed to make this next decision? How are we supposed to make this decision?
I got my answer, bro.
The final matchup.
What do
We
you do?
have La La Land versus Dune 2.
They are both absolutely spectacular.
La La Land.
La La Land.
La La Land wins the official Just a Clothespin movie bracket.
Woo!
I feel so gross right now.
I feel pretty
Like
good.
genuinely.
I feel good. I feel good about the choices we picked.
I just
No, I'm good.
so many difficult decisions.
We're good.
I think we gotta say like every movie here is just phenomenal.
Every movie here made me, also.
Yeah, and
On some level.
these were some difficult decisions, but La La Land is an absolutely wonderful movie in its story, in its music, in its execution, in its performance, in its set design. Oh my goodness! I mean, it truly just delivers on all fronts, and
I think that makes sense.
I think it deserves its spot. I don't love that. Like, what's my favorite movie was the one that won, because like, I don't know. Yeah.
I would have chosen Do the Right Thing over La La Land.
And
Yeah.
I would have too.
That's my point. Is it would have won.
Yeah, because you would have picked that over Dune too.
But here's the thing. That's not how you look at brackets.
That's the
Right.
point. That's the
Because
point.
it's not what is the
I knew.
La La Land wins today, but it doesn't win tomorrow.
right. Cool.
And-
if the brackets were just organized different,
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
the whole thing.
yeah,
And let me also say, like, I made consistent picks. I chose the ones that meant the most emotionally to me and deepest.
yeah,
And that's Ratatouille. And that's La La Land against Dune 2. But that, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
just how it broke down.
Okay. Well,
Briefcase?
do we have a briefcase on this?
Yeah, it's a comment.
Oh yeah.
Our very first comment.
So every single episode, we answer a question in what we call the briefcase segment, and
Which
we're
we're holding, because you brought it.
we never bring the briefcase. We need to do that. But if you want to throw in some comments to potentially be selected, leave them down in the comments below.
That's right.
Okay. This is a comment from JT9483. He asked, in your opinions, who do you believe is the best filmmaker of all time? Why would you pick that particular person? What qualities does that person possess that makes him or her a standout? What film did they create that makes you connect with them?
Thank you, JT.
That is a difficult question.
It's a hugely difficult question. This is kind of poetic to conclude the bracket with, but for me, it is Chris Columbus. Chris Columbus was a instrumental filmmaker for me, specifically because of his leadership. he did the first 2 Harry Potters, and the behind the scenes for that movie, both those movies, are hugely impactful for who I am as a person and as a storyteller. The culture he built around protecting the actors, specifically the child actors, just means so much to me. And
I don't love my answer because I feel like it's a tiny bit cliche, but I think I have to say Steven Spielberg. And I think the reason is because not only his movies, but his story is so compelling to me. And his movies have kind of shaped, I think, who I am and the stories that I want to tell. And when we look at, Back to the Future, when we look at Raiders of the Lost Ark, when we look at Jaws, when we look at even Ready Player One, consistently through all of these, like, these are the movies I remember. These are the movies I keep coming back to. And I love everything he's touched. And I think he's just an incredible filmmaker. So I have to say Steven Spielberg.
Does this conclude the episode?
This is our bracket episode.
First
Genuinely,
bracket episode.
let us know what you think about this. It's a little different than our typical format, but if you enjoyed it, we'll keep doing stuff like this.
I guess the only thing to add is our Instagram's now live, so that's open. Please drop a follow. Drop
Sometimes
a like.
we put stuff exclusively on Instagram.
That's right.
So if you want some bonus content, that's always there.
For sure.
And if you want to learn some filmmaking lessons that we got to learn by sitting down with the incredible Scott Devine, you can click the video on screen and go check that one out. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.